this is how to hit your goal way ahead of schedule. Think about this. If you had a science project and your teacher gave you a month to do it, most of us would wait till the last minute, and then you would knock it out in a day and a half and probably get a B, maybe an A. Now, if your teacher gave you a long project, maybe it's due in 2 weeks. I've been through this. And she says, okay, so you need a rough draft by Friday. Then by next Wednesday, you need to have your second draft, whatever. They kind of milk you along. You do it. So you're going to do what is required of you, but you always sit back and say, when I wait till the last minute, I actually don't do so bad. It's because of the level of focus is higher when it's crunch time. And that's the reason all this talk about taking pressure off of yourself. I think most of us should put more pressure on ourselves. And so you want to drive yourself to that point to where it's go time. So instead of saying I want to be a state champion in high school, you should say I want to be a state champion as a freshman. Well, that's next year. Okay, I just graduated 8th grade. It's August 3rd. I better go. I got 7 months. Or maybe you're like, there's no way. I've only wrestled 2 years. It's stupid. Okay, then I need to get top 3 in the state next year as a third-year wrestler. See, now there's some excitement that is generated, and rich people do this all the time. They set big targets and then they go for it. Some people progress slowly, maybe in their real estate sales career, or maybe they started a business, or maybe they're like, I got a job at a big company, maybe corporate headquarters of Target or something, which I'm not sure they're doing so well. But maybe you get a job with Target and you say, okay, I want to have my boss's job, one day. Well, why don't you say maybe I want my boss's job in 4 years? I think what happens is when we set bigger goals and a shorter time period, I think you're going to be surprised that you can do it. And the reason is it creates excitement. It doesn't really, well, maybe even fear too, right? It creates a little bit of fear. And I'm not saying this is a good thing, but I knew a guy, his dad owned car dealerships, and he was in car sales or whatever, and he said sales training that he went through taught him, to kind of slightly over leverage yourself. Buy a really nice car, because when you're in sales, you spend a lot of time in your car, and when you get in that car, you feel good about yourself. Like, okay, this is where this car, this is my son's car. It's nice though, but it's older. So, but you drive a real nice car and you're like, I deserve this. But yet there's a little bit of stress because it's a little bit more expensive than what you should have responsibly bought. Not too much more, where it's just overwhelming. But the whole idea was like, you're going to make a few extra calls, sales calls and visits, and you're going to crush it, and you're going to make that nice car that's probably about 2 steps nicer than what you should be buying. It's going to make you so much money. It's like, there's an interview, some book, all right? Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump. I listened to this book years ago, and Trump says one of his business friends always flew first class, even though he really couldn't afford it. He's like, I want to feel like I deserve it, because I know one day I'm going to be able to do this and not even think twice about it. So he didn't want to start in the back of the plane and work his way to the front. He just started saying, I'm a first class guy, here I go. So these are some of the same tricks and mindset that we learn as adults if you listen to sales book and Be Successful books, right? And the personal development type of things. So I want to encourage you, set your goals higher and shorten that window of when you're going to accomplish them. Because I think when you do that, there's some pressure and it creates some excitement. You know, Elon Musk says what do you say? Something crazy like take your 10-year goal and try to do it in 6 months, and you probably will be able to do it. So if you're a procrastinator, that's what I would encourage you to do. Set a goal, big goal, and shorten the time frame that you want to accomplish it. It might be a weightlifting goal. It might be a wrestling success goal. Why don't you grab the state medalist or state champion in your wrestling room and say, within 2 weeks, I want to be able to take him or her down 5 times in a row. Think about that excitement when you have wrestling practice Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. If you just said, I want to beat you one day, see, that's not specific enough, and it's not immediate. It doesn't create some urgency. It doesn't create excitement. You're probably going to miss practice. You'll probably find a reason not to go. But if you have a goal to take that state medalist down that you can't beat yet, maybe take him down once or twice in practice, I'm going to own you. I'm going to own you in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you decide. And now there's some excitement there. So that would be my tip for you. Subscribe, follow us on all social channels. Now there's about 150,000 that follow us now. And check out our camps too. We start our girls. We finish up our 28-day camp tomorrow, and we got about 170 girls flying in from as far away as Canada. We have our own facility just north of St. Louis, Missouri. Purlerwrestling.com. There's videos and everything on YouTube. So we got 26,000 square feet of space, 214 beds, kitchen, 3 wrestling rooms, weight room. We have a big, massive, couple $1 million facility, and that's where we operate our academy out of, our competition camps, our girls competition camps, our private lessons, and our summer camps. So our summer camps have sold out 11 years in a row, and some of them sold out by February. So, generally speaking, by January 1st, you should be signing up at PurlerWrestling.com if you want to train with us. We turned away over 650 kids this year. So we have 5-day camps all the way up to 56-day camps. Our online wrestling academy is also tremendous. You should check us out there as well. Roughly, plus or minus, the best 270 wrestling techniques broken down into levels, phases, basics, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and kind of compartmentalized around or segmented around the common positions specific to that skill level, and that pretty much be all that you need. If you master those, you should be able to master those in a month. Try to master them in 2 weeks. There you go. Mastering them in a month is very, very doable. So if you do that, I think you're going to be blown away. And there's no reason for you not to be a tremendous wrestler like just a few months. And our online academy is a tool that can do that for you. So check us out, subscribe, share this. Love to have you guys. PurlerWrestling.com. Good luck.